เราถึงจะไว้ใจคุณได้
Pisu. Pisu Yonaka.
Something going on outside. Northern gas... Oh god, there's going to be a gas explosion outside, I think.
โถอาถรรพ์
There's a flashing van and they're
โถที่
doing
ต้อง
something
คำ
to
สา
the
ปด้วยมน
road.
ต์ด
There better not be a gas
Hanai
explosion tonight.
ำบรรจุสิ่งที่คุณเกลียดกลัวที่สุดที่สัมผัสได้
Oh yeah, I've got some fun news for you guys. Here's some fun news for you guys. Remember my last stream on Friday when I was looking out my window and there was I mean you probably won't remember, but during this stream I was getting distracted by a van outside with its flashing lights. And I think at one point I joked and I looked at the van and I said, God, it's a gas van. I hope they're not going to start doing gas things. I hope there's not going to be an explosion. Well, there wasn't a gas explosion, but when I finished the stream and went downstairs, there was a man about to kick down our door because he'd taken some gas readings through the letterbox and there's a gas leak in my house. Should have mentioned this first, shouldn't I? To the point where we may have had to go into a hotel. So how do you like that? Basically, there is a possibility that because I was streaming, I couldn't hear that the guy downstairs was knocking, because I think there was one point where I could hear knocking, and I thought, I said on stream while playing Indiana Jones, I said on stream, oh my god, I wonder what are they doing down there? Well, they were trying to get into our house to avoid a buildup of gas, which could have killed everyone. So yeah, to be honest, it's a good job I decided that this week I'm not doing weekends, because this weekend wouldn't have worked because it was chaos. Absolutely ruined Friday night dinner, I imagine. Amy, you're spot on. We had fish and chips, and by the time we'd sorted out, you know, whether we should evacuate or not, the fish and chips had gone cold. But you know how these things are. It's all fun and games, isn't it? And I had to stay up really late because Mum wanted to go to bed, but they were still, because this went on all night, they were still having to take readings. So it's this thing where they kind of sorted it out. They drilled holes, they did all sorts, but then they have to kind of keep checking. Like every 20 minutes someone had to keep coming in. So I was up past 12, just kind of... Is gas leak code for Chris IBS? Well, look, I have a lot of gas, but some men in some guys in a van don't have to come every once in a while and release the gas in me, because that's what they had to do. They had to drill into the road. They had to get pipes. They had to like let gas out. I mean, to be honest, I'd done all the farting gags I could do by the end of the day. There wasn't anything else I could say. There's only so much. There's only so many gas jokes in the world. But I found it funny thinking that there's a potential that if I had streamed any longer, I might have exploded. Hey, later Taters, thank you. 50 bits. Thank you. Thank you. It would have been a thing where if someone had walked past our house smoking a cigarette and thrown it down, because basically what the gas people had said was that the floor that we have is concrete, whereas if you have wood floor, apparently gas can kind of come out. But our floor had basically been holding gas, and if it had exploded, it may have actually blown our house straight into the air, because the gas was being kept under the concrete. Don't joke about it. I mean, what can you do? What can you do? I mean, it made me think it's a wild thing doing all these live Twitches, because if, for example, let me just move away from these two arguing, these two fucking fisher people just arguing about fish. If I had blown up and died, then that clip of me kind of saying, "Oh God, I wonder what's going on outside. It better not be a gas explosion." Because that's what I said. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm not sure if I did. I know I mentioned it was gas because I read the van. Because it was annoying me because there was a flashing light. Because I think, well, basically hazards. And I looked at the van and I was like, well, I'm sure I said something along the lines like, "Oh, I bet something's going to fucking blow up." And it could have been me. And I just know that if that had happened to me, then I would have been all over the internet with like, "Look at what this Twitch person says." And then, did you know that later they actually blew up in an explosion? Like, people would have loved that shit on the internet. Wouldn't they? Hey, this guy jokes about a gas explosion and then died later. What an asshole. You would have ended up on the top 10 darndest Twitch clips videos. Hey, now ain't this darn? Look at this guy. He blew up. So I hope you're all glad I didn't blow up. I mean, in a way, I think I'm obviously being dramatic. Is he walking on? He was walking on fucking air then. I don't think we could have. I mean, could we have died? I don't know, because it was that thing where this has been a build-up, and I mean, it would have been a ground explosion. I could have been in a ground explosion. Now I would have been up here, and it would have been Mum. Really, she would have been sat watching Coronation Street, and it would have gone. It kind of. The thing is, if under your house a gas cloud. Because here's the thing: the gas people didn't tell us how much. It might have just been a leak. It might have just been a leak, and it would have been a bang. But the idea that there was an entire gas thing underneath our house. Yes, Jess, I almost died while you were streaming Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, it ruined Corrie. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Mum was a bit annoyed. She wanted to come home, have fish and chips, and watch Emmerdale and Coronation Street, and we had to catch up with that the next day. So lucky they found out in time. Well, I suppose. But we don't know. Somebody walked past our house basically and rang the gas people and said, "I can smell gas." So we want to know who that is, because snitches get stitches. There's no such thing as a small gas leak. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know how it all works, because I think the gas people, they probably wouldn't mention like, "Oh, we've basically found out that you had like 1 megaton explosive gas under your house." They probably would have just done it. They would have leaked it all out and then gone, "Let's get out of here. Let's not be too specific." Finally, nosy neighbours actually help. Well, here's the thing, guys. I mean, I guess, what have I learned? If you smell gas, ring the number.
Unless it's got an eggy smell.
Then it's your ass. Oh, Jess the Wanted. You've subscribed with Prime. Glad you didn't die, kiss, kiss. Thank you. I'm glad I didn't as well, although there is an alternate reality in which I have died, so I feel sorry for that, Chris. And his burgeoning Twitch career. He was a good guy. I mean, actually, there'll be trillions of versions of me that would have died.